Do you think Tony Stark would be Tony Stark if he wasn't a billionaire?
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
You can take away my house, all my tricks and toys. One thing you can't take away, I am Iron Man.
Hey, black people.
One question to keep in mind. Who the hell was Ironheart made for, and who is still watching this radioactive sludge called the MCU on Disney Plus anyways? There was a time when Marvel meant something. A red, white, and blue shield. Gods with hammers. Billionaire alcoholics nuking terrorists with billion-dollar guilt. Now we are choking down algorithmic bile, squeezed from the ass end of a dying franchise, and served to us in high-fructose story arcs with the nutritional value of a dry paper towel. It's brain food for the already lobotomized. And nothing exemplifies this nihilistic parade of content more than Ironheart. 6 godless episodes of corporate hallucination that begs the question, who was this made for? And who the fuck is still watching it? The answer, my friends, is not blowing out the back of the solar-powered wind turbine strapped to Riri Williams' ass. The answer is no one. No one asked for this. No one wanted this. But here Ironheart is, wobbling across the screen like a wounded parrot in an Iron Man Halloween costume, yapping on about justice while committing casual felonies. I tried to watch the first episode on a 4-hour plane ride, a stretch of airborne purgatory over this great nation, where I had nothing to do but stare at a tiny screen and let this thing pass off as a show happen to me. 30 minutes in, I nodded off. Not out of comfort, not out of jet lag, but because Ironheart is the kind of show that gently euthanizes your will to live. Turbulence woke me. Violent, jarring, merciful turbulence. Like God himself slapped the fuselage and said, "Wake up. Your self-inflicted punishment is not over." I took a sip of something strong, rewound to where I remember leaving off, and tried again. I gave it a second chance, like a fool. 10 minutes later, I was out cold again. Chin to my chest, drooling on my complimentary pretzels while Riri Williams mumbles technobabble. That's the power of this show. It doesn't demand your attention. It chloroforms you. It's cinematic NyQuil for the soul. I should be thankful, really. It made my flight feel like time travel. One instance, Riri was getting kicked out of MIT. The next, I was looking at some fat guy's sweaty ass as we were deplaning, thankful for the better view. Even watching this show at 2 times the speed doesn't cut it. I found myself skipping forward 10 seconds, trying to find any sort of good to latch onto. 3 episodes later, my finger was more worn out than a lesbian's on Dollar Margarita night at her favorite dive bar. Ironheart wasn't written. It was manifested by middle managers with panic in their eyes and marketing decks in their hands. The plot stumbles like a drunk STEM major trying to solve systemic racism with a 3D printer and a vague sense of moral superiority. Riri doesn't grow, she glides. Smug, cold, untouched by consequences or introspection. She builds war machines for fun, joins crime rings out of boredom, and by episode 3 she's helping kill people. But hey, she composts her trash and believes in equity, so we're still supposed to root for her, you bigot. This isn't a narrative, it's a data-driven psyop cobbled together in a panic room by executives who think character development is a TikTok trend. The AI in her suit could have been a philosophical monolith, but instead, it spits out exposition like a malfunctioning chatbot having a stroke. There's no writing here, there's only content, and content is a word that means death. And again, I ask, who is this for? Not kids, not Marvel fans, not anyone with a working attention span. This was made for no one. It exists only because someone had a bug up their ass to fill a diversity slot on a spreadsheet. Riri Williams is not a protagonist. She's a corporate mascot disguised as a genius and held together with duct tape. Her moral compass is cracked beyond repair. She's Iron Man without the alcoholism, charisma, or soul. She's what happens when a LinkedIn profile tries to become a superhero. She doesn't even seem to like Tony Stark, the man who made this entire franchise function, and she treats his legacy like a used condom flung on a tax write-off. Her family and friends orbit her like lobotomized satellites, offering no pushback, no emotional grounding, no curiosity about the fact that their loved one is now running with the Antifa All-Stars in a suit powered by the yearning to be rich like Stark. Every interaction feels like a bad improv scene at a corporate retreat. These aren't characters. They're meat puppets created to hold screen time between product placements. And again, who is watching this? The answer is no one. No one normal anyway. The only people still watching this are hate clickers, YouTubers harvesting rage views, and Marvel interns with a list of hashtags stuck to their desks for analytics. This show looks like it was filmed in a Spirit of Halloween store on November 1st. The main villain operates out of a pizza parlor basement. The Ironheart suit looks like Iron Man's leftovers thrown into a blender with a Hot Topic clearance rack. CGI? Atrocious. Choreography? Like an Australian trying to breakdance with a concussion. This isn't TV, this is government-funded content laundering. If it came out a month later than it did, I would accuse it of trying to cover up the Epstein files. The production screams we didn't care. Everything reeks of time-saving, cost-cutting, soul-stripping shortcuts. This isn't art, this is obligation television. The kind of content you make when the shareholders need something to point to on an earnings call. So I ask again, while twitching in my chair and pouring whiskey into my eyeballs, who the hell was this made for? This isn't even fun for stoned college kids. This is for people who left autoplay on and died midway through episode 1. Ironheart doesn't celebrate diversity, it hides behind it. The show treats inclusion like a subscription service. It's all meaningless. No arcs, no humanity, just characters written by a boardroom trying to go viral. Diversity isn't storytelling, it's liability armor. Criticize the show, must be racist. Hate the writing, must be sexist. No, goddammit, we hate bad art. And let's not pretend anyone's watching Ironheart for the politics. No one's watching, period. These characters are walking HR compliance forms. This is DEI cosplay for the same people who think empathy is something you talk about between sips of $12 iced coffees. Tony Stark died for this. The man nuked himself into the afterlife to save the universe, and this show spits on his legacy like it's a used tissue in a frat house. Riri doesn't honor him, she belittles him. He was rich and that's what made him, she shrugs, while standing in his suit, on his scholarship, inside the franchise he created, inside a studio he ushered in. There's no emotional connection, no mentorship, no arc, just some Gen Z inventor LARPing as a hero, while pretending the people who made her existence possible doesn't matter. This isn't passing the torch, it's dropping it into a puddle of gasoline and lighting it with a scented candle. These Disney Plus MCU shows aren't made for the fans. They're made for earnings reports, shareholder presentations, and the illusion that the brand still has cultural momentum. The formula is broken, the fire has gone out. The suits are cold and the scripts are colder. And what's left? Ironheart, Echo, Secret Invasion, Loki, a wasteland of soulless, saggy, sorry-ass television made by ghosts for ghosts. These aren't stories, they're supply chain residue. The only people watching are irony-poisoned grifters, rage-bait reactors, or lost souls who still believe that Phase 5 will somehow rise from this graveyard of broken content. But it won't. And this isn't a warning anymore, it's a eulogy. Ironheart is not a show, it's the nightmare of content fatigue, DEI kabuki theater, and decaying franchise bloat. Riri Williams isn't a character. She's a product placement with a minor backstory. The plot doesn't move, it shuffles. The cast doesn't act, they recite. The world doesn't expand, it contracts. Like a dying star of mediocrity collapsing in on itself. So I leave you with these questions. Who was this made for? And who's watching this? And why the hell does Marvel think it still matters? The answer is the same every time. No one. Absolutely no one. That includes me. As far as I'm concerned, there is no goddamn reason left on this earth to watch another Marvel Disney Plus show. Not one. I've seen the future of this portion of the MCU, and it looks like a moldy burrito someone tried to microwave inside Iron Man's helmet. These aren't shows, they're various forms of trash floating around the algorithm like a radioactive trash barge, each one more hollow and corporate than the last. They're not made to bring in new subscribers. Hell, they're not even made to entertain the ones still clinging to the platform out of sheer inertia. These things exist purely to be roasted or defended. You either farm them for rage clicks or you get paid to pretend they're important. It's performance art without the art. A gladiator pit for terminally online Discord addicts. Sure, I could keep tearing them down. There's an endless landfill of low-effort garbage out there. I could roast these things in my sleep. They're layups. Free throws. The easiest content to make since Logan Paul discovered suicide forests. But at the end of the day, what the hell is there to tear down if there's nothing there to begin with? A man can only scream into the void for so long before he starts to hear himself echo. Hey, do yourself a favor, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more of my award-winning personality to fix your day. I'm out of here.